Hey guys, welcome back to the Life Homestead. If you didn't watch the video where I killed the buck a few days ago, go back and watch that one. Today I've got this meat cut up, as you can see. I already cut the back straps up and put them away, as well as a couple roasts. But we're gonna make some breakfast sausage out of this stuff. Got a brand new grinder. This is a 3/4 horse LEM grinder. Or that's how I say it, LEM, however you guys want to say it, I guess. But anyway, these things are built like a tank. They got a steel auger, and the only thing you want to remember, and I'll have Tiff zoom in on this if she can, but there's a little like a nylon washer in there. You want to make sure that's on the back side, because I've always borrowed my aunt's grinder in the past. They were lucky enough, or we were lucky enough, they I traded out some labor and got this thing. They sent it to me, and I do appreciate that. But if you don't put that little nylon washer in there, this right here on the back will rub.
Hold on, down at the very end.
Yeah, it's in the very bottom.
Oh, I see.
See it down there?
Yep.
So it'll probably come out after this first time. So you just put this auger down in there. Make sure it comes out the bottom back here. Now the other important part you want to remember, this is your blade. You want to put this thing facing out, and it's got to be able to spin in there freely. It looks like it's backwards. You would think you'd put the cutting edge in toward where the meat comes out, but you don't. It can't twist in there. It'll try, but it will bend these tips, and then it'll also cut into your ring here. So always face the cutting edge out. And this is square peg, square hole. Pretty simple. This is your grinding ring. I always use the finer one. It comes with 3 of them, but this fine one is for making like ground meat, and that's what we're doing. So it's got a little notch in here. It's pretty self-explanatory. You put it in there, and you just spin it to where it catches in that notch, and then it can't twist anymore. Got a retaining ring, and you just screw that down on there, and that is your auger assembled. And you just put this in here. It's got a little indentation on here where the set screw will go in. You get that good and solid. Make sure that's out good enough you can get it in there. Our winter dogs have seen something that they don't appreciate. Just make sure you have it all the way in there, and then just tighten this down. It don't have to be super tight. It's not going anywhere. Okay, so what you'll need, obviously your deer meat, and we use bacon ends and bits. We've always used Rice brand bacon ends and bits, but we can't find any. So we were in Kroger the other day. We found some of this Jamestown brand seasoned bacon ends and pieces. So that's what we're going to go with this time. I do a 2-to-1, so I'll do two handfuls of the deer to 1 handful of the bacon. So I'm gonna grind the bacon first. This is your tray. You just slip it down in here, and then it kind of sets down on there. Safety first. Tiffany wanted to plug it in before we had it all assembled. I think she was wanting to hurt me, but anyway, we got her all plugged in. I like to give it a little test run just real quick to make sure it sounds nice and smooth. So if you had an issue, you would know, because it'd be all flanking. See this spin here? There's nothing really to be scared of. I mean, it's spinning, but it can't really grab you or anything like that. The only other thing I forgot to mention, you'll need your seasoning. This is Old Plantation #7, I think, just pork sausage seasoning. You can tell by how red it is, this is some hot stuff. So I'm only going to put about half what it calls for in there because I don't like it hot, but they didn't have any mild at the store of Lynn Candler, so we're going to go with the hot. And so again, I'll grind all this together and then mix it up, and then make it into patties, and we'll show you guys that. So first we're going to do the bacon.
Shouldn't you have a bowl under that?
Good catch. Put a bowl under there and it'll be going down on the table. It's got a little plunger that you can plunge it down in there with, but as long as you don't get wild with your vators, you really ain't got anything to worry about. I mean, I ain't long enough to get down in there anyway. I guess you could always substitute pork fat rather than bacon ends and bits, but this is how I was taught to do it. and it comes out really, really good. I like to put the bacon through there first because, you know, bacon's kind of greasy and it'll kind of lube everything up with other stuff. I mean, it's not really necessary, but I always put it through first. Okay, so we've got the bacon ground up, and then this is the deer meat.
That looks like we could make bacon burgers.
You could, I think if you probably did a 1-to-1, you could make just straight up deer burger with it. I mean, you know, burgers.
We should try that.
Do a 1-to-1?
Yeah.
Okay. Rebel today. The other thing I usually do is I usually grind up this deer, and then like I said, I'll mix 2-to-1. And as I do that, mix the seasoning in. But I'm also going to try something different today that I haven't done. And I'm just going to sprinkle this seasoning on this deer meat as I put it through there. That'll save me the time and the mushing of all this together. Because the grinder actually, when you're making sausage, you're actually supposed to run this stuff through a couple times. But I haven't ever done that. I think with this fine cutting wheel on there, you don't have to. So we're going to try that. We're going to fire this puppy back up.
You think you need a bowl? He doesn't have a bowl and it's about to...
And I caught it. See the red pepper flakes in there, you'll like that. If you guys have one of these, and after you go through a few deer with it, and you see it's not pushing this stuff out like it should, it's really more like mincing it more than it should be before it's pushing it out, your blade's dull. It's time to swap your blade. So, quick tip for you. This will work better.
That way's better?
I think it will be. It's definitely not as cold. You get all that ground meat together and you're mushing it to death. Your hands will be about froze to death. That's one thing about these LEM grinders. You can, it'll eat it as fast as you can throw it in there. If you read the instructions, it'll also tell you not to put anything frozen in there, which I feel like it's common sense, but anyway, don't put frozen meat in there. All right, so this is not rocket science. We're going to do a 1-to-1. Like I said, normally do 2-to-1, but we're going to go all rebelish and do 1-to-1 this time. So a 1-to-1, if you get a handful of deer meat, you need same size handful of bacon. Handful of deer meat, handful of bacon. So the deer meat's red, the bacon is the white. If you put pork fat in, it'd look about the same, but you just want a good consistency. Typically in the past, this is where I put the seasoning in, and you can still do it that way, but we're going to try the grinder, or just put it in the before we did the grinding. So we'll see how that goes, and let you guys know. That's looking, it's making me hungry, honestly. All right, the last part is just bagging it up. A lot of people will use the food saver, and I've done that before. But I think these Ziploc bags honestly work just as good. Again, you can do this as scientific as you want. You can get you a little scale, but I know that this is about a patty. So I'm gonna put enough for about 4 patties in here. It'll shrink up some, but not a lot. And I've honestly done this so much, I really just go by how much is in this bag. So there's one. Filled that one a little full. It's because I always get nervous at the end. Let's split. I always get nervous at the end because I'm thinking, you know, we'll make them all starve to death. As you can tell, I don't have that problem very often, but still a deep ingrained fear I have. I don't want to starve to death, so. Anyway, not much to this part. We're just patting it or putting it in here, and I'll flatten these out and double bag them and label them. When they're flattened out, it makes it a lot easier and quicker when you're thawing that stuff out. You can either, you know, put it on defrost in the microwave, or you can just put it in a sink full of hot water. Either way. Bag this stuff, you just take the bag. You got these kind that you smash, is that a word? Smash. Close all the way, but just a little bit. And then you want to squeeze all that air out you can, because that's where your frostbite stuff will come from, is that air in there. So smash it out pretty flat, seal it the rest of the way up, and then we double bag these. And you don't have to do it this way, I don't guess, but I always put the open end of this down toward the bottom for whatever reason. This is the way I do it. Get that down in there, and then the same way.
It's kind of like double sealing it by doing it that way.
Yeah. And then you just label it. Tips already labeled this one. You stack them up in the freezer, man. I don't know if you guys watch TikTok, but I love this guy. His name's Stale Cracker. He's a Cajun cooking guy. You got to watch him. But he's like, that'll do it, man. I can't talk in Cajun accent, but that'll do. Anyway. All right, guys. Well, this is how we make deer sausage. It's probably a little different than a lot of people make, but this is how we do it. And I think honestly, you get better flavor than adding just the pork fat that like you can get from a butcher, because it gives it that bacon flavor, and it's really, really good. We've been making it for a long time. So thanks for watching. Like I said, go back and watch that deer hunt video if you want to know where this actually came from. But then again, up here on the homestead, we are proud to know where our meat comes from. We're not totally off the grid growing everything we eat, but we haven't bought ground meat and probably, honestly, I can't tell you when. And when I eat burger that's ground up that you like buy from the store, it tastes funny to me because we've been eating this stuff for so long. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 packages of sausage. Looks like 4 things of burger this time. Also, I already put it in the freezer, but I did cut some roast off of that back ham, and I'll show you guys that in another video. If it's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments, because you can make a real nice roast out of the back ham on a deer. And obviously cut the back straps up to frying the steaks. If you guys want to see that, I can also show you that. I can show you how we cook it up. It's not rocket science either. There's millions and millions of people that do that, but I promise you it is fabulous. There's some people that'll say you can grill that stuff and do this, that, and the other. Everybody knows you gotta throw those back straps in the hot grease. But all right, guys, thanks for watching, and God bless.